UFC Bantamweight Andre Ewell joins me now, coming off a big win, a split decision one over Jonathan Martinez at UFC 247. Andre, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me. I'm on like that like upskirts of life right now.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show for the first time. I've been watching you for a while now. You're 3-2 in the UFC, coming off that big win over Martinez. We'll dive into that in a second. I want to ask you first, obviously, about your day-to-day life with what's going on with this COVID-19 situation. It seems like the whole world is turned upside down. How are things for you?
It's flown, man. I'm going with the ways that we end up speaking. That I got a baby coming, so my mind's on that, and definitely aiming to make sure the baby's safe and everything. Like it's mind blowing of like what's honestly going on, like how they're closing down things, and like it's about to end up turning into like a straight movie, and we're gonna be in our own movie, where no one can leave the house, that whole nine. But I'm automatically keeping a positive that people don't end up knowing. It's workout, staying around heat, and heat actually kills the virus is what I'm hearing, what they're telling, and just going through like doctors and for all the doctor appointments, they constantly keep like breaking it down when I'm with with the baby doctor appointments and whatnot. So it kind of like you get the inside inskirts of what's going on, So now it's kind of like you got to play with it and move it and spread it. So that's how we end up handling. I'm handling it the best way I can.
Yeah, congratulations on the new addition to your family when that is coming here soon. When is the date?
April 1st. And I'm like crossing my fingers that the baby comes on April 1st because I have a first child that's born March 31st. So if it follows up and on April 1st, that'd be awesome. Because it's April Fool's. I kind of want to crack jokes on my little boy every year, make it like a little routine ritual once a year. You get the joke, so so that's why I kind of like want to play with.
So I do understand that you have your own YouTube page and you do a lot of comedy videos, which I saw, which are very good. Is this something that you intend to get your newborn into at some point here in the near future?
Yeah, that's something I definitely am going to end up doing. Like I'm like barely getting used to the whole YouTube thing at the moment, but I'm trying to honestly spread the love and make people end up somehow joining in. So if I'm able to join in on that, and then my son growing up into the whole vision of being something exciting, let him know that the world is for him for him to honestly take and be a blessing of him just doing him. So, and if you end up getting a good following, honestly just go ahead and say, hey, yeah, you're amazing, stuff like that, to give him a little boost of encouragement to do extra stuff. Why not? It's a W in my eyes. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I love that. Have you always been a fan of acting in movies? Is this something that you've always had a passion for?
That I have. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say it started to kick in like a random moment where I ended up seeing like I'm very entertaining, and when you end up watching like a lot of like TV shows, like say for instance, like WWE or WWF. I was in the version of WWF before it like transferred to E. Just what they ended up doing and what they brought in. It's like I was a big fan of The Rock, So when he ended up pushing his like acting skills and went from a different version of his life, you kind of like grow up and watch things and you kind of say, hey, that's something you want to end up doing. So with me, I already know I'm great at fighting. I got the hands, I can steal and everything. Excuse the cursing. But, but it ends up opening up the door when that brings smiles to people. And even if it's just you cracking a small joke or you just talking about certain things and, becomes passionate and stuff like that. So I'm actually enveloping a world where I'm able to put it all together, like, and that's me able to spread it. And it's coming through a simple film of my life, the life situation. Ha! I like your dog.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend's dog, and she just kind of roams the house, does what she wants. As long as she doesn't bark, I'm cool with it.
All right, there it is.
So, well, that's cool. I actually have a little bit of a comedic background myself. Maybe we could talk off the air someday about that. One last question about the current situation with your newborn coming and then the COVID-19. Have you been told everything? Like, is I don't know if you're married or if it's your girlfriend, but is everything okay? Like, have they told you to take any extra precautions as far as making sure that everything is safe and healthy here moving forward?
Like for Moby here, they just simply, besides the fact is in like trying to lock everybody in the house, Right now, they're telling, like, for us to go to the hospital, my son's mother and everything, I'm not allowed to go at the moment. So it's kind of like frustrating at the situation because I'm a person that wants to be very involved in everything that ends up happening around, and especially with my son and everything. So I want to be at the doctor appointments. I want to be there. So it's already they're stating their precaution is that I can't come in, so I got to either wait outside or wait at home, So that's already downfall. And right now, only thing like I'm really worried about is that, say, she's having the child or having my boy and everything, that I'm not allowed to be there. And it's like, I know like a lot of people are saying, oh, you got nothing to worry about. But the thing is, there's something to worry about because they already treat people awkwardly when you're not there. So this is kind of like a little added extra bonus of it could be like a little down heartbreaking moment. And so if anything, they're going to be like, oh, because right now they have like this $3,000 fine. And I'm like, tell them like, yeah, I'm about to have a $3,000 fine because I might be in there cussing out everybody and trying to fight everybody just to be in my boys, like, to see my boy born, So that's like the downfall of the situation because at the end of the day, they can say anything they want and they can do whatever they want. And you kind of have to flow with it or get in trouble. So that's where I'm at with it.
Man, that's a tough situation to be in. Hopefully everything works out and you do get to be there for the birth of your son. So I'll keep the best thoughts and prayers for that for you here in the coming weeks here when that does happen. Let's talk about this win over Jonathan Martinez. Now, you did break your arm. I believe it was in the first round by checking a kick, and you got that lovely pink cast there. How difficult was it to fight through that, man? And not only just get the win, but to fight all 3 rounds with that injury?
It's hard, and the hard automatically overcomes the difficulty part of the party. The worst thing is it's like as soon as your adrenaline pumps, you don't feel nothing. You kind of just out there, kind of riding the ride. But for the situation, for like 14 minutes and some change of that fight, it kind of open up that door of it lets me know or let me share with the basically with the fans and the people that I did everything for the people. It doesn't matter how I end up looking at it. I am a crowd pleaser. I am aiming to be the next people's champ. It doesn't matter how you flip the coin, At the end of the day, I'm not like, my favorite saying, and I end up telling everybody is that I'm not aiming to be liked. I'm aiming to be loved. I want everybody to love me, So me honestly biting down and going out there just to throw and do what I do best, granted that, broken arm and everything, which noted if it wasn't broken, I would have finished the fight. Basically, I would, I don't think it would have got past the second round. Me personally thinking, or me personally speaking out. But had a great competitor, great opponent. The dude was really good. It was my night. And, and I end up understanding like a split decision is like a controversy, but that's what happens when you leave it into a decision. You don't know what ways or the judges are going to end up voting, just like how they're mad at Solis for giving me all 3 rounds, which I personally feel I won all 3 rounds, that no one's complaining about the judge that gave it to him that gave him the first round. Everybody knows I won the first round. Everybody knows I dropped him in the first round. Everybody knows I forced him to try to take me down. And not only that, exchanged and threw down and landed more significant shots on my opponent. So for that judge that voted for him to win, kind of that's a controversy right there. And then they're trying to say, oh, I lost the second round. Nah, I didn't. I won 4 minutes of that thing and hurt him in the 4 minutes. And the last 40 seconds, it was kind of like it was swaying back to his side. But do you erase everything I did for 4 minutes for 40 seconds? So it's kind of like a flip coin right there. And it's like that 4 minutes, I'm putting work in. I'm building up strikes. And not only that, I'm hurting him, and I got him hurting. Even Joe Rogan, even though he's like baby Jesus to the freaking microphone, he was like, kind of know. So all I know is three judges matters. Our opinions matter in the fight. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's those 3 judges that are around the cage, And at the end of the day, don't leave it up to the judges. And I basically tried not to leave it up to the judges, but with the hand, that's what ended up happening. So that's what happened with them.
Well, at the end of the day, a win's a win. You got the win, and with a broken arm. So that really says a little bit more about just how tough you are. Did you learn something about yourself in this fight? Did you already know you were that tough, like you could overcome something like that? Or did you realize that, wow, man, I guess I didn't realize just how tough I actually am?
No, I've been known I was that tough. Just practicing, I fought like with a broken hand for a whole year. I had a bucket tear, and I finally just got it fixed because I had the time. I was going to end up doing it because tear, which is a meniscus tear, which I was going to get it fixed after that fight. Just because I was going to take a little bit of time off to be in my child's life and everything, do the family thing. But the arm happened, so I got 2 for 1, for the whole package of hey, get worked on. But I already knew that was tough because factors in I fought Hindenbrow. I broke my left hand, or re-broke my left hand, and fought through that, and I did all 3 rounds. Fights before that, or earlier that year, basically January or February and June, or my bad, January and February when I fought Trentmo and Gustavo Lopez. I ended up breaking my hand against Gustavo, and then I fought 3 weeks later with a broken hand, and literally fought with my only right hand. So it's things that you kind of use, and there's also things that you just got to learn how to adapt. In my eyes, it needed to be big. I couldn't rest, so I had to keep going. So it's bite down moments. That's all it is. Everything's about biting down and going forward. And I'm that type of person that likes to just bite down and go forward.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now I got to ask, did you get a chance to watch the main event, Jones and Reyes? And how did you score it? A lot of people felt Jones maybe didn't win that fight, although the champ did retain.
Vaguely. It's kind of like one of those situations that it's one of the rounds where it could have either went left or right. And that's obviously the 3rd round where the fatigue started to kick in. But obviously we know the first 2 rounds, Reyes won. 3rd rounds, it was a coin flip or coin toss, or one of those rounds. It was a coin toss. But the last 2, Jones, I gave it to Jones, just practicing, what he did. But there it is. It's kind of one of those. If they would have given it to Reyes, I felt that Reyes won. If they would have given, how they gave it to Jones, I felt like, yeah, he won. But at the end of the day, rounds or the last 2 rounds is not different from the first 3 rounds. And this is what people end up figuring out how they end up judging. Like, oh, well, I gave it to Jones because the last 2 rounds is more important. No, every round is important. You win every round. You fight every round like it's the first round. It doesn't come as all right, the 3rd round. Just like I stated, it doesn't come down as the last 40 seconds. Every minute counts. So win every minute, And I don't know why I'm sitting there stating that because Joe made a comment on that. It's the death rounds. This person wasn't able to walk out. And it's doesn't matter if death rounds, it's the first 3 rounds. And if that's the case, how about we just only fight 2 rounds? Or if that's the case, say in the beginning of the rules that the last 2 rounds, since it's championship rounds, that they double extra points or they give an extra point for this. So everybody has that, the acknowledgement of, all right, let me save everything for the last 2 rounds. I don't know. But at the end of the day, every round counts, and that's how I end up viewing off on that fight.
Hey, yeah, well, it was a great fight, very close, much like your fight. Although you did say if you weren't injured, you would have finished him. So we'll see what happens here in the near future. You're 3-2 now in the UFC. What is your current contract situation?
I got 2 more fights on it. The next one, I'm going to end up basically trying to renegotiate it, or not me, but my manager. So they're going to end up jumping in Dodge Sports, which are you guys for the ones that need a manager, etc. That's the spot to go to. Everybody on there is awesome. Joel, Matt Dodge, everybody that comes in there is family. But off on that note, that I got 2 more fights. The next one, aiming to renegotiate, and which I'm automatically feeling really great about because, I'm exciting. People love me, and people are going to continue to love me because at the end of the day, every time that I step in the cage, I put on a show. And literally, I feel like UFC owes me 3 bonuses, 150K right now. I'm in debt for 150K. They owe me 150K. They need to send me 150K because, I got like robbed for fight of the night and performance of the night and stuff like that, you know. But hey, things happen. I'm still moving on. I'm moving forward and ready. Basically mid-August, you know, mid-August/September is when I'm aiming to get back in, so I can go ahead and, you know, throw it down with everybody.
Well, that was actually my next question. Give me a name. Is there someone that you'd like to step into the octagon with next, or do you not really care?
As of right now, since everything is going down the way it is, and me forcefully have to take the dang 6 months off or the change off, it's anybody, you know. But you know, the people already know who I want, and that's Chico Vera. But that's the rematch that I would love to have that, you know, go back with. But yeah, I already know he's on his road, and I'm on my own. So we got to end up moving the way the wind takes us, or wherever the wave takes us. So right now, anybody, everybody, I'm basically coming for it. And then from there, you know, push on for the best, because we'll be the best.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching you step back into the cage. Always a pleasure watching you fight. Great to have you on the show for the first time. You're a great interview. I look forward to talking to you again soon before you fight next. If there's anyone you'd like to thank or any social media you would like to plug, the floor is yours.
One, I want to thank everybody. Obviously, my family, the family I'm about to end up building. And moving on to my managing group, they're awesome. That's like from Dodge Sports, all right? Amazing people. You know, obviously my teammates, my coaches, the friends as well, everybody that's honestly keeping it together and constantly, you know, working through, and everybody that's out there that's dealing with the whole coronavirus, and that's basically everybody. Hey, keep strong, keep pushing forward. Everything automatically will be great in a few days, for a few weeks, whoever knows. But together, we're strong. Apart, we fall. Just simply saying that. All right. And yeah, just all love to everybody and everybody that's honestly sponsoring. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for the time, my friend. But stay healthy, and best of luck here in the next couple of weeks with the addition to the family. Hope everything goes smooth, and we will talk again soon.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.